Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Welcome to another instalment of Macro Monday. We have a Tooheys beer. Tooheys are out of Sydney, New South Wales. Probably known more for their lighter beers, but yeah, this is their old school Tooheys Old Original Dark Ale. So yeah, if you go to like a lot of pubs throughout Sydney and they have a heap of different taps, you'll generally find something like this there as a bit of a change up. I haven't had this beer in so long, so I'm sort of looking forward to trying it again. Harry from Blue Nose Beer Reviews had it recently in the UK, so it sort of inspired me to get a bottle and try it. I've got my old dimpled handle glass, so we're going real old school Aussie pub here today. And cheers to Stewie and Joe. Good to see you. So yeah, I had a bit of a sleep in today. I still feel tired though. It's very, very muggy here for some reason. It's not that hot, but very muggy, very humid. Feels like it's probably going to storm later on. But yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, the original dark ale, 4.4%. And this is in a 375ml stubby. Oh, she's very dark. The glass is quite dirty as well. So yeah, being a macro beer, not expecting much from this one. But in saying that, for a macro, it's probably going to be one of the better ones, being an old school dark. Geez, that glass is dirty. So yeah, you've got carbonation sticking to the side everywhere. So I would say it's like a chocolate colour, probably light to medium body, very, very lively carbonation, not much of a head. Yeah, the dirty glass doesn't really help. Let's go with. So I'm getting like sort of like dark fruit, even like dark bread, some chocolate, maybe even like a touch of like caramel. It's got quite a nice nose to it. It's always the good thing with dark beers, they just got a bit more character. Yeah, you're getting like sort of dried dark fruit. Smells pretty good. I'm going in. And first beer for the day. Probably won't have many today because I'll go back to work late tonight. So it's only early morning, so I've got time to have a few, but I haven't even had breakfast or anything yet. Cheers. Got a bit of sweetness to it, a little bit of roast. Definitely like dark bread and like chocolate. Yeah, you're getting this like little fruity estery thing that gives off like it sort of gives off like a dried apricot or something like that. Maybe even like prune fig. Body probably medium. Maybe a little touch of coffee there. Bit of a stretch though. Goes down pretty easy. Let's check some comments. Certainly won't be that high. Yeah, white boy. Yeah, possibly. We've had a lot of that string of like couple of days heat and then it'll just turn to storms and it gets really like humid. Sort of like when you're in the tropics. Yeah, it won't even be that score, Stewie. It'll be like way below that. Nah, no molasses. Yeah, those three there, certainly. It's got that sort of like dark fruit and dried fruit thing going on. Cheers, Martine. How you going? Good to see you. I'm just doing a Aussie macro beer. Nothing exciting, just one to pretty much just tick off the list. I've had it before back in the day, but yeah, I wanted to revisit it. It's one of those beers that's like readily available, especially like in the Sydney region. Tooheys are based up there, and they're one of the macro breweries that are featuring all the pubs. Yeah, let's pour some more, shall we? So yeah, all I can say is like being a macro, yeah, you're not going to get extremely excited about it. You're not going to give it a good score, but there's a level of like how good is it for a macro beer. And this one for me, like I would rather drink this any day over like most of your like your macro ales that are on tap at pubs. Like it's pretty decent. Ah, going well, mate. Just doing the same old shit. For a macro beer, like you can still get a half decent one and score it like sort of 3.5, 3.2, something like that. You got to remember, dude, a lot of the beers I drink are like super hyped, so that's why they always get huge scores, like over like four and a halves and that sort of stuff. You're going from like high end scale to like bottom shit a lot of the times. There's not much of that in between. It's sort of hard to explain to people unless they really know their beer. No, exactly. Champion's way better than this. That's what I'm saying. You got real hurt when I gave Champion the score I did, but I gave it a pretty good score. It's just there's beers out there that are way better than it, and it's just I don't drink many shit beers, so it probably made it look like it was a shit score, but it wasn't. I just don't put heaps of shit beers on my channel. There's like no point to it. Whereas like beers like this, they're macro beers. They're Aussie beers that are readily available, and you want to review them because you want people to see what you think of stuff that's like local to you. I do like that logo. It's pretty cool. Cheers, Susie. Good to see you, mate. Geez, my fingernails grow quick. Check this shit out. I only cut them like 4 days ago. One thing I reckon, when I like started growing a beard like years ago, I used to like use beard oils and that sort of stuff. I don't anymore. There's no point. But one thing I definitely noticed is when I started using beard oils and you're running like your fingers through your beard, my nails just all of a sudden just went nuts. Like it was ridiculous. So I keep saying to girls, if they want to grow their nails quick, use some beard oil. Yeah, I'm just trying to explain to you, like, yeah, like the reason why that got the score it was is because it's like a solid beer. It's like, but there's way worse out there and way better. Cheers, Ghost. Good to see you, mate. Haven't had a drink with you for a while. Cheers, Simo. Yeah. Yeah, the old streams, I plan to like sort of I start them up because not much is going on. And you think, oh yeah, I'll just go for like an hour or two, and it always ends up frigging ages. Sort of the joys of not having any plans. You can just do what you want. One thing I did do though that was pretty dodgy. I yeah, around the time when I was about to end the stream, I started cooking some meat pies. And yeah, I turned the oven on, put them in there. Luckily, I had the timer on the oven. I must have got sleepy, and I like jumped, like I just laid on top of the bed with the dogs because it was real hot as well, and I fell asleep. And then I woke up like 2 hours later and could smell the pies. I'm like, oh shit. So luckily, like the timer was on, so the oven turned off. But yeah, the pies were obviously fucked, like overcooked. It's always a worry, stuff like that. And like I'm young, like imagine what it's like when you're older, and yeah, you you're not really thinking straight all the time. Cheers, Michael. Welcome in, brother. Always good to see some new people. Yeah, the bottle's pretty cool. So yeah, this is just a regular beer out of Sydney, Australia. I don't know where you're based, but I'm down near Melbourne. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's saying hello to each other. That's good. Good, strong community. I like it. There's a little bit left. I may as well finish her off. But yeah, a good like classic dark ale. As I said, it's like bready, like grainy. When I say bready, like a dark bread, like brown bread. Um, yeah, like chocolate, coffee, like even like yeah, it's like got that fruity esters. Like as I said, it sort of reminds me of like prune and fig, but also like a dried apricot or something like that. Yeah, quite complex for a macro beer, especially. I think score wise, I'd probably go about a 3.6 out of 5. Normally, a good macro I'll have sort of in that 3.5 to 3.8 sort of area. So, yeah, legendary refreshment since 1869. Yeah, it's always good to like revisit some of these Aussie classics. Also, the like I love doing macros from other countries, but it's just really hard to get them. Geez, I'm behind in the comments big time now. Yeah, with it. Yeah. I've done it a few times with pizza. That's when it's handy to have like smoke alarms as well, in case like you stupidly don't turn a timer on. Or there's also been times where I've turned an oven on, like preheating it, ready to put food in it, and then like fallen asleep. Some dogs pulled up out the front going nuts. Having a conversation with the dog across the road. Yeah, I think most people have done that sort of thing before. Frisbee. Portland, Maine. Cool. Definitely a good area for beer. I've got quite a few friends in the beer community that live up that way, so yeah. So yeah, what did I say? 3.6. Tooheys Old. So yeah, known as the original dark ale, and yeah, percentage was 4.4. So like pretty good on the ABV. You could have a few of them. Not feel too dusty. But yeah, for a macro, I would highly recommend. Still a bit tired. I can't talk properly. Yeah, just for like if you like sort of just your old dark ales, sort of reminds me of like an English style beer. Certainly decent, non-offensive, and easy drinking. So yeah, I'm going to wrap that up. I'll just check the last of the comments. Oh, good old TikTok, eh? Is it true that it went and now it's back? Cheers, Gemini. Good to see you. So yeah, I'm out of here. I might actually do one more review. So look out for possibly another beer in the next maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. We'll see what happens. It's still early here, so yeah, I might even do like an American craft beer or something. So yeah. Can I have a handle of Tooheys Old? Thanks, champ. Cheers, Disco. I'm out of here. See yous all soon. Cheers.